My cousin demanded I sell him my late grandmother's beach house for $50,000 because family gets a discount, so I sold it to his ex-wife for $1 instead. My grandmother Rose owned a beautiful beach house in Martha's Vineyard that she bought in 1973 for $30,000. It's now worth at least $800,000, probably more. When she passed last year, she left it to me, her only grandchild who'd spent every summer with her there since I was 5. Derek, my mother's nephew, has always believed he's entitled to everything our family owns. When my parents bought a new car, he demanded their old one for practically free. When I graduated from culinary school, he insisted I cater his wedding at cost. When grandma was alive, he'd visit once a year, take photos for Instagram, then leave after 2 hours. Meanwhile, I was driving up every other weekend to check on her, fix things around the house, and make sure she was taking her medications. But there was someone else helping too, someone I didn't know about until after grandma died. At the funeral, Derek cornered me immediately. So, about the beach house. Family meeting tomorrow to discuss the transition. What transition? I asked. Well, obviously you're going to sell it to me. I'm prepared to offer $50,000 cash. That's more than generous for the family. I actually laughed. Derek, that house is worth nearly $1 million. Exactly why you don't need it, he said smoothly. You're single, you rent an apartment. I have a family, 3 kids who deserve to grow up with beach access. Besides, family helps family, right? Grandma would want her great-grandchildren to enjoy it. Grandma left it to me. If she wanted you to have it, she would have left it to you. His face darkened. We'll see about that. 2 weeks later, I got a call from my lawyer. Derek had submitted documents to the probate court claiming he was a co-owner of the property, complete with a deed from 2018 that supposedly showed grandma had given him 50% ownership. The only problem? The notary stamp was from a notary who'd lost their license in 2016. While my lawyer handled the fraud attempt, I started going through grandma's things at the beach house. That's when I found them. Dozens of thank you cards, all addressed to Sarah Angel. Each one thanking her for groceries, for fixing the porch light, for driving to doctor's appointments, for staying overnight when grandma was scared. Sarah was Derek's ex-wife. I tracked her down, working 2 jobs and living in a studio apartment. Over coffee, Sarah told me everything. After Derek cheated on her with his secretary and divorced her, taking everything in the process, she'd been left with nothing. She'd reached out to grandma, the only family member who'd been kind to her, just to say goodbye. Instead, grandma had hired her as an unofficial caregiver. Cash payments, no paper trail, because grandma knew Derek would cause problems if he found out. She saved my life, Sarah said. I couldn't let her be alone. I'd sneak over at night when she was scared, bring her groceries and help her hide it all from Derek. She didn't want him to know she needed help because she knew he'd use it to try to get power of attorney. Sarah showed me her phone, hundreds of photos of her and her grandma, cooking together, playing cards, watching movies, all dated from the last 3 years of grandma's life. Years when I thought grandma had been alone during the week. That's when I made my decision. I called Derek and told him I was ready to make a deal. He showed up at my apartment with a smug smile and a cashier's check for $50,000. Finally came to your senses, he said. I'll be generous. You can have until the end of the month to get your stuff out. Actually, I said, pulling out a document, I've already sold it. His face went white. What? To who? I'll match their offer. I'll double it. The sale is already complete. Closed yesterday. Who did you sell my grandmother's house to? Sarah. The silence was deafening, then explosive. My ex-wife? You sold my family's beach house to that gold digger? For $1, I added calmly. She paid cash. Derek actually lunged at me. This is fraud. Manipulation. I'll sue. With what grounds? I asked. I'm allowed to sell my property to whoever I want for whatever price I want. Just like you were allowed to leave Sarah with nothing in your divorce. Sarah doesn't just own the house now. Grandma had apparently been teaching her about property investment during their time together. Sarah's planning to rent it out during peak season, except for 2 weeks I can use whenever I want. Her idea, not mine. And use the income to go back to school for nursing. Last I heard, Derek's new wife is divorcing him after learning about the fraud attempt.